Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Lavender Sky Panther with you on Saturday, December 9th, 2023. Can't believe it's already into December. I'm not sure about you, but man, has this latter part, especially like from June on, just flown by for me in a blink. Don't know if that's the same for you. Anyway, I'm going to try to make this a little short and sweet. I pulled this one card today, actually out of a book. It was a bookmarker, and I didn't even know that I had put this card in there. So that means that whenever I've shuffled this deck, it didn't have this card in it, so it's time for it to rejoin its little home home box there with the rest of the cards. But before I put it back, I thought, no, this is the message for today. So it is release and surrender. So it's a little washed out because of light source I talked about yesterday. I'm not very pleased with the light sources these days of what's available to purchase. But anyway, today's card is release and surrender. And it says, we shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. And we're going to do a little exercise today just for fun. Physically, taking up a lot of things and releasing them and surrendering them. And what I mean by that is this little platter of charms. I'm going to, pick a whole bunch up and drop them in this little tray here and see if we get any further messages about it. Now, what I do want to say is, perhaps this applies to you. It's definitely hitting home very hard for me. A lot of friends, family members are exiting the planet these days, especially over the last 2 years. And I'm just going to leave it right there for now. I could say a lot about it, but I'll refrain in this little message because I do want to keep it somewhat light. We can make it heavy or light, actually, based on this theme, but we'll make it light. And that's the whole point of it. With people passing off this planet, I've been talking to a few that are still, and the ones that are still with us, that are holding on to some things, like it says here, gripping tightly from the past, and they just can't let it go. And this is a call and a strong message to definitely release and surrender any resentments that you have against anybody for any reason whatsoever. One specific example, of course, I won't give any names, is someone I talked to who, had an issue come up well over 10 years ago with an inheritance dispute and just can't get over it. The person seems like they were wrongly done and, on and on and on, and they may have been. But the point is that all of that heaviness is just weighing that soul down. And some of the people I know that have transitioned off the planet recently, at least one of them said, oh my gosh, I've held on to that for, over 80 years. I can't believe I did. And now I feel, so much freer right now. Can't believe I held on to it that long. So guess what? All of us here, we have a choice to make. Are you going to hold on to resentments that you're holding over against people? Because you're really just binding up your own heart. You're making yourself heavy. And I'm sure you already know this. And then it's like having two suitcases, one in each hand, and they're getting heavier and heavier by the moment to the point where you can't hold them up in the air anymore, and you either drop them or you have to set them down. Well, that's what we need to do, is put down and set aside any of these resentments. And I'm not saying that you have to forget, but, forgive the person, just let it go. If there's something you can do about it, like speak your truth and be honest about it in a way that is very matter of fact and not, filled with emotion and drama, you might think about doing that, feel into it if that's what you should do. But you can also forgive the higher self of the other person in meditation, or you can just close your eyes and ask for your higher self to, speak with their higher self and just say, I forgive you, I forgive myself, I forgive the whole situation. Because there's always, just like in communication, it's a two-way street, and it's really never ever one-sided. And if you look at this whole situation, all of us here on this earth, however we want to say it, in this dimension, in the here and now. I like the little quote, however, was brought through to Neil Donald Walsh, who's just what he once said at a lecture I was at, where he was speaking, and he said, there's only one of us in the room. And that really clarifies things. I think that quote appeared in the Conversations with God book, the first one that he did with the information coming through him. Anyhow, if we look at it as there's one of us in the room, when you're going about your daily day-to-day and doing things and you see other people, when you start to really look at things deeper, see into things deeper, you can look and say, oh, that's the me that would be a cashier at this place. Oh, that's the me that would be flying that plane. Oh, that's the me. I see that person there, that guy sitting on the tractor, or that woman. Oh, that's the me that would be a farmer, tending to the land in that way. Oh, that's the me digging ditches to lay down stormwater pipes so that the sewer system works better in the neighborhood. Oh, that's me planting trees and doing landscaping. Oh, that's the me teaching little children. Oh, that's the me being a parent who is full time committed and dedicated to taking care of the children at home. Oh, that's me in that high powered corporate job dealing with a lot of ethical decisions and things to deal with. And I may be making some good or bad calls there. Oh, that's the me, you get where I'm going. It can go on and on and on. So once you start to recognize, hey, that's the me that would be doing this if I were in that situation, it all brings things around full circle, and you realize, yes, there really is only one of us in the room, and that is that spark of light that I keep talking about, that God spark, that spark of life, that first pulse of flash of light that no one can explain of where it comes from, how it shows up, and how it keeps going when you first see the sonogram of a child for baby in the womb, and when that first pulse of light flashes, which is the heartbeat. So anyway, that's all to say, and that reminds me of this card with that beautiful flash of light, when we first really come into the soul, becoming embodied and incarnate in the physical body. That moment is just majestic, as this card looks. So anyway, just a friendly reminder, whatever you've got going on, if it's bitter, if it's resentment, let it go. Sometimes you don't think you have it until somebody passes and you realize you did. So this is just a call to not wait. It's no pressure. Just, get there when you can, but try to get there sooner than later. I can tell you, I've been to a few services now with people who have passed, and I can't even tell you how you feel all the love in the room, and decades long feuds and battles and bitterness just lifted, instantly disintegrated when they come in the room and see the family member who might have just lost someone, quote unquote, lost someone. They're not lost, they don't truly die. The spirit goes on, but you know what I mean, where their loved one has passed on, and the other people feel the the love of that, the sorrow in that, the everything in that, and all their bitterness just instantly wipes away. And the first thing they say is, "What can I do? Is there anything I can do for you?" So try to get into that space. Oh my gosh, sorry, something jumped in the background, made me jump rather. Something crashed. It's okay. Anyhow. um, I guess that's a little interesting little note of the timing of that little crash. Let all of your heaviness crash and burn in a purification fire of love, a loving fire. Let it burn and purify any of that you've got in you. There's many other ways to make your load lighter. And again, just a friendly reminder, do it sooner than later. That's nothing to do with the gloom or doom message. It's just any second that you carry anything heavy is just pointless. It's a waste. It's well, okay, there's purpose in everything, but you know what I mean. It's just kind of a wasted moment that you don't even need, So lighten yourself up so that you can, journey on in a happier way, and there's just no need for the other, heaviness, right? Okay. I think I said probably more than a little too much, but you get the gist. And if that doesn't apply to you, and you're already in a great space where you forgive, have forgiven, that bitterness is lifted that you might hold against anybody, um, then that's okay. Maybe the second part of this reading is for you, or another reading altogether. However, I do just want to say too that the heaviness, oh, I just had a thought about that came to me. Let me see if it'll come back. Oh, yes. I once heard from a very wise person too about this. She said, you don't have to forgive the action, that's making you bitter, that's you feel somebody, inflicted against you or adversely toward you, but you can forgive the person, the being. Okay. And I thought that was an interesting way for me to let some stuff go a few years ago. And now this is just a call to kind of gently search within. Is there anything else giving you a little little tug, like pulling you down a bit when you think about somebody? If you think about if you feel you've been betrayed, and maybe this is just a good day or moment to search all that out. In an instant, you can put those suitcases down next to you and let it go. Okay? All right. Now, what I'm going to do in the spirit of release and surrender is actually physically release and surrender some stuff. So this little tray is filled with charms. And if you give me a moment, I'm not using the tripod, so just I'm going to do this old school way. Give me a second. I'm going to prop this up against the tray. It's an interesting view there anyway. Give me a minute. And I'm going to remove the card and come back with the camera. What I'm going to do is, let's see if I can, yeah, there we go, get a little bit of a view of all the charms, and I want to kind of pull this over in this old school way, try to prop it. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes and grab these charms, mix them up a little bit, and then I'm going to just release them on the tray next to me here. And there we go. Eyes are closed. There. Okay, and just scooted them around. Now what I'm going to do is you're going to join me. We're going to look at these charms. Little aerial view here. Let me turn this one over. Can't see what that is. Ooh, that's a nice little brownie with, looks like a cherry on top with some whipped cream. And we're just going to pan through and just see what, comes to mind, given the, the theme that we have going on of release and surrender. And see if anything means anything to you, and then I'll come through and then see, let you know what I see here. Let me just separate the baby from this bat. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this baby so he's not face down. Okay, so anyway, we've got all sorts of things going on. Maybe something triggers in here for you for release and surrender. For me, for right now, let me see if I can do this. What caught my attention were these two dog bones, and actually one looks more, let me give a little pointer, one looks more like a treat and one looks more like a chew toy. To me, it's almost like a squeaky toy and a chew toy, like an actual treat to eat. And that's, emphasize too, this is a like nice treat, for humans to eat. So anyway, why am I focusing on that? I don't know, other than what I'm getting is, how certain dogs, especially, and this is no judgment against this type of dog at all. Just all dogs are different and built physiologically different, just as humans are. But I'm reminded of a pit bull just kind of grabbing onto that bone and not letting it go. And this might be an interesting thing too. I did look it up once, and I used to know and remember the jaw pressures of different animals. I don't know why. One day I was just like, what animal on this earth, on this planet, currently has the strongest jaw force? The pressure, PSI, like pressure force holding on to something. And there's force for clenching, and then there's also, interestingly enough, the force that it would take, to, I guess, release something. So anyway, we'll look at the force of the clenching is reminding me of like the gripping onto something you just can't let go, like that dog. And no matter how, the more you try to pull it away, the more it hangs on. So the little message is, don't be that dog. Or if you are going to be that dog that knows to let it go and let go of the thing. If you let this go, for example, if you let the squeaky toy go, then the owner can continue to play fetch with you. But if you're the dog and you just won't let it go, it's a pretty limited, linear, one-dimensional life you're living, and you're not going to experience the joy of the play, right? So anyway, just reinforces to me the letting something go. There's a time to hold on to it, but don't grip it so long that is to your own detriment, and that you'll miss the miracles and the fun that can be had if you would just let it go and become lighter, right? All right, now looking on, I don't know if any of you see anything else in the release and surrender arena. I'll just kind of pan around, have some interesting things here. I guess, the other thing is money. We can look at that represented here, with this one over here. And of course, if we hang on to it too tightly, actually it says 10, that might be a message for somebody with the number 10, or that can also be a number 1. If we hold on to money too tightly too, it serves no one, not even the person, gripping it tightly. And it's just an energetic exchange. So that's what money is. And so you're just representing that you don't want there to be flow, and you're blocking the flow, which again does not serve you nor anyone else around you. Okay, and I think that's all for now. Maybe you see something else. And I was going to maybe pull an extra little card. What do you think? I have about 4 decks back here. And I think I will, you know what? I think I will just pull one more. And something's calling me to, back here. And I will, in the spirit of it, release it, let it go, and let's see what we get. Okay, let's look at this one. Oh, this one's beautiful. I just know this from reading this deck a little, working with this little deck before. Let me get this baby out of the way. It's a little distracting. Okay, I mean, I didn't mean to cast it aside like that. It just was in the viewfinder a little too prominent. Okay, so this is a gorgeous angel. Look at that mood of this beautiful, beautiful card. The ocean, the deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. So, isn't that nice? It's kind of another, in a slightly different way, another release and surrender. Let it flow out into the waves and let the ocean carry it away, right? Your concerns. And that's another message of just letting things not be gripped too tightly. And actually, if you are able to go near an ocean, another great exercise of physically releasing and letting go and surrendering would be just to lift up, a huge clump of sand in your hand and let it, dissipate and strain through your fingers until there's nothing left. And then let the wind pick up the rest and blow it on, right? Okay, well, that's it for today. I wish all of you a beautiful Saturday and weekend ahead. Till next time, Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.